Welcome to the Divine Style Podcast with Gerlinda, Stella, personal stylist and self-love coach, and Alison, Maiden, psychic medium, spiritual healer and metaphysical teacher. Each episode you'll experience spiritual lessons to cultivate self-love and self-expression so you can become the best version of you.
Hi, I'm Gerlinda.
And I'm Alison.
Today we are talking all about chakras. We're going to do a little mini series so we can cover off each of the chakras in your body so you can get a better understanding of how you'll be able to recognize blockages and how you can clear them and how these show up in your life, how you know which chakras to work on. I think our very first podcast called Energy is Everything, we spoke about how important your chakras are in terms of your body. I guess firstly, it's probably good to know what is a chakra for those that haven't. Some people call them chakras as well. There's all different pronunciations.
Yeah, look, a chakra is actually the correct pronunciation, but what it's about is it's where your soul is connected to your physical body. So it's a grounding point, and each chakra in turn has a different aspect of the soul. So when we are connected in to that particular chakra, it brings about certain emotional lessons, or it may bring us to certain points of life in general, and it also connects up to the physical aspects of our body. So for instance, when we have an emotional disturbance, and that emotional disturbance will go on for some period of time, it can cause blockages in the chakra, and then it can cause physical problems and physical symptoms in the body, the human body.
And this shows up so often when we hear about people's illnesses. As soon as they tell you whereabouts that particular ailment or illness has shown up, we can quickly identify, especially in energy healing, which chakra is blocked.
Yeah.
So to start with, we are going to be talking about the base chakra, also known as the root chakra.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the base chakra is actually at the bottom of the spine. Now it faces downwards and connects to the Earth Star, which is the Earth Star is the chakra that actually holds us here on Earth. It gives us our grounding, it gives us our sense of being, okay, and then it will feed through to the other chakras. So we're actually pulling up energy out of the Earth Star into the feet, up and through to that base chakra. So when we are looking at it from an energetic point of view, it is the grounding chakra, or it's the chakra that actually helps us to stay here, okay? If you don't have that open and active, then you're in a lot of trouble, all right? So that chakra in general will be a dark color. It's usually black or brown, and that's the one that when, I don't know if you've ever witnessed anyone passing over, if you've ever been in the room when that happens.
I have, yes.
If you can see auras, you're able to see the light dimming of the aura, and then you'll just see a very fine black line around them before they finally exit. And that fine black line is the last remnant of the Earth Star chakra.
Incredible.
So that's something that I've witnessed several times as a paramedic. Of course, I've seen people pass several times, but when you actually can see the energy around people, it's really quite fascinating. And I think I've mentioned to you before that before I get on a plane, I always make sure anyone that's sitting next to me or around me has got very bright chakras and their auric field is nice and bright, because that means that they're pretty much here to stay. And if there's anything that's going down, it's not me.
It's like the taxi driver. You're like, I'm not getting in with that taxi driver.
Yeah, you can always get a good idea about the energy around people, or especially about their personalities as well. So with that connection then to the base, we come up to the red chakra. The red chakra, or the base chakra, is your connection to this particular plane. And so we have survival in there. It's where we come in and we're like, okay, we're in this human body and we've got to make this work. So we need survival instincts. And that's one of the first things, of course, that's awakened within us as soon as we're born. We want to breathe, okay? So that's a natural thing that we're going to do. And that's all connected into the energy of this chakra. So anything to do with survival, anything to do with how we're going to survive, and that includes things like running away from things that might hurt us. So the adrenaline that's going to go through your body, the adrenal glands are also connected up, and anything that is going to mean that we need to plan for coming events and that sort of thing. So in actual fact, it's literally like, Bear Grylls in a chakra. So
Great explanation, because this is where you know things like having a home or a roof over your head, food to eat, being able to get around, so transport and things like that. So these are all things that we need in order to survive. Interestingly too, we also need other people to survive.
Correct.
So it's actually having a sense of safety with the people that are surrounding us. So when we're not safe in those relationships, this chakra can be showing up as well.
Oh, look, absolutely. You will get a lot of related colour aspects to this thing as well. So, for instance, if you're being threatened in some way, what's the first thing normally that happens is we get angry because someone's trying to threaten us, and so we're going to get defensive. So the aura is going to go bright red because it's firing up that energy of survival. Okay, so anger is red. We often see that depicted in cartoons and things like that, right? Anger is red. So the same thing for sexuality, all right? So around the base chakras, we've also got that sexual drive and the reproductive drive. So if you have a look in some of the, lovely shops around the place that sell those lovely things, you'll see that there's quite a few lovely mannequins in the window that's got a lot of red things on, usually quite shiny and satiny.
And not surprised that they call it red light district.
Correct. All of those things that affect that area. So, when we're looking at the chakra itself, it's actually a beautiful chakra because it's also over the birth canal in women. So it's about the first thing that comes through you, of course, is the creation of another life. It's all about that too. So when we're looking at creation and we're looking at being creative in ourselves, that also resides in that base chakra.
The birth of new ideas.
Yes, exactly. So when we're looking at the overall picture here, if we're blocked on any level of any of those things we've just mentioned, let's say, for instance, that you've lost your job, so there you've got a threat of no money coming in. Maybe you've been kicked out of your house or where you're living. What are you going to do? Live on the street? Unfortunately, there's some terrible, sad stories about this out there. You've got all of those threatening things coming in. So this chakra is going to be quite blocked. It's going to be quite sort of negative, and the fear of having a threat to your actual living arrangements is going to be in there. So to start with, that's something that would actually block off that chakra. So when we're talking about the negativity of these things, and it can be in some cases attacks or things that have happened to people. In particular, I was working with a client for many years actually. We eventually did heal her, which was wonderful, but it took a while. But she was raped. And that rape caused her to have cervical cancer. And it was a terrible thing for her to have to go through. But she was given, I think, a diagnosis of 5 years. And by healing herself, and it took us maybe 2 or 3 years, by healing herself, and she used my methods and a lot of other people and medical methods as well, she's still here.
Incredible.
And so sometimes when things are such a deep threat to us and there's so much fear involved, we almost can manifest the outcome through the fear instead of having hope that once we heal the problem in the first place, we can then actually create something different or a different outcome to it. And that all that happens in that base chakra.
And some of the ailments that people can have in terms of this base chakra, so anything to do with your legs, so
yes,
falling over or broken ankle or anything to
moving
do
forward
with legs, yes, all that moving forward. What are some other things that can show up for people?
Yeah, so bladder issues, lower bowel issues, prostate issues in men, and in general we can have trouble letting go of things. So this could be not being able to toilet properly, or on the other side of the scale it could even be incontinence, so too much, because there's always a balance in the chakra, and if it's getting too much of any kind of energy, it can go the opposite way to what it's meant to do. So a perfectly balanced chakra will be sort of turning in a clockwise direction as far as the energy goes, but also it will be around about the size of, say, 5 centimeters across, okay, and the activity will be just normal. So it's not going to be whizzing. If when you put your pendulum over the chakras, I've taught you how to do that. If it's whizzing like a helicopter, then that's too much.
It's overactive.
That's overactive. It just should be a nice rhythmic kind of movement, and it should be around about 5 centimeters across. And so that is perfect, and that is balanced. And when you do have the lower back problems and all of those things, lower back problems come in from fear of not having enough money, which of course is directly connected up to our fear of survival, which is in that base chakra.
That is exactly right. One of the things with the base chakra too that I know when I first started learning about the chakras and really integrating this into a daily practice, I know I was so afraid of this chakra because I felt that the grounding, I knew that this to be a grounding chakra, and I thought if I was grounded, that would mean that I was somehow boring or that I wouldn't be able to connect with spirit. And yet the exact opposite is true.
That's right.
The more grounded we become, the more of a clear channel we can be, because then everything starts to align. So this is a really important chakra to really clear, and because it is that survival instinct as well, you want to make sure this one is safe, because then the rest will start to light up.
Look, absolutely. And the vibration of colour is really important when it comes to clearing anything. So we can have the vibration of colour that would be like wearing the colour. So if you look good in red, go for it. If you don't, buy some undies, okay? Now we can see. Or you could eat red food, okay? A lot of the vibration in the food that we have is directly linked to whatever chakra issues we have anyway, which is really interesting. Using crystals, so the vibration of the red crystals obviously for this chakra, and then there's some really good black crystals as well that can be used for this one, particularly for grounding. So you've got the hematite, black onyx is a really great one, jet, Apache tears, and then you've got your red jaspers, your garnets, your rubies. All of those deep red colours are terrific. Just by wearing those things or actually having them near your body is enough to be able to generate positive energy within the chakra itself.
Very true. There's things like sheets as well, and also we've spoken about frequencies and music before, but there is chakra music that's for your base chakra to help you open up that as well. Smells, different smells can sometimes do this. There's incense that will help, and perfumed candles, things like that you can, oils that you can rub on.
Yes, I think Lang Lang's very good, and also geranium. So when you're looking at the bigger picture of all of this stuff, is like you can live your life literally by the vibration of what you know to be blocked or problematic in your body. But understand that you're going to be healing that. So you don't have to do that like continuously.
That's correct.
Okay.
We don't want you to get obsessive about this. Like next minute you've got a completely red lounge room and couch and sheets. People are going to start to think you're gone a little bit mad.
And there'll always be more than one chakra blocked as well. So don't just concentrate on one thing.
So true. But these are just little ways that you can integrate some of these colours and senses and smells to help you start to think about that chakra, and even just the actual focus and attention on that particular chakra is helpful to help open it up as well.
Yes, it's good to get a chakra meditation, and as you were saying about the solfeggio frequencies, because solfeggio are amazing. I've been using those now for years. Gosh, they work quickly. It's one of those scenarios where you've just wished you found it so many years ago, because it works so much faster than a lot of things. And there's a really great album, and I'm sure it'd be fine to share that with everyone. And I'm just looking it up for you guys. It's called the 9 Solfeggio Frequencies, and it's by Power Thoughts Meditation Club. Now you can get that on YouTube, and you can download it or you can purchase it. But they have 9 solfeggio frequencies to cover not only the 7 that's on your physical body, but also the Earth star and the celestial star as well. And that will take you through about an hour and a half of a great meditation. So you can lay on the bed and you can just let it go, let it run. Or they do them separately. So if at a particular day you're thinking, right, well, I really need my base chakra to be cleared today, so you can just pop on that one, and a 285 hertz is the right one for your base chakra. So there's lots of really great things to do for yourself. You've got to be careful though. You know, I've met a few people over the years that do get a bit obsessive with this sort of stuff, and it's like it just runs their entire life, and that's when you'll find that you're going to overdo it, and your chakra will become overactive. So what can we do for an overactive chakra?
And what are some of the symptoms that you'll experience if it is overactive?
You might find you'll be a little bit more sexually aroused than normal.
Awesome. So I don't think there'll be too many men complaining about that one.
No, probably not. We can sort of tend to get the jumps in the legs and things like that.
Oh, a bit shaky.
There's pain can also happen with an overactive chakra as well. But yeah, you may also find that the bowel will be a little bit more active than normal, those sorts of things. But
how does that show up in your life as well?
Anxiety. Yeah, it starts to trigger off that adrenal response, and so as soon as the adrenal response happens, of course your bowel will start to get overactive. You possibly will feel the butterflies in your tummy and all those things. And of course that the anxiety comes right down to fear, and of course, as we know, the fear in the base chakra is the big thing. So if it's very, very overactive, it means that you've got a lot of fear going on, and that we just need to quieten that down. So we know we're safe, we know that we're guided, we know that, you know, spirit are around us. So reassurance from that level can be really great. And also, I think daily meditations are an absolute must. If you are experiencing anything to do with anxiety or fear, you really need to, yes, look at it and address it with whatever means feels comfortable to you. And some people love the spiritual side of things and they'll go for healings. Other people will want to go and see psychologists. Whatever works, you know. And I'm a big believer in whatever works for you. Use as many tools as you need to get to the root of the problem, and then fix it. You know, don't ignore it. That's the big thing. If you push it away, it's only going to come back worse.
And yeah, learn to feel like I believe after working with my chakras, now I can actually feel different parts of them lighting up. And I think it's an incredible thing to start to be aware of the energies in your body and feeling where these points are in your body and being able to see the color. And even if you can't necessarily see it, imagine what that color looks like, and just keep checking in with yourself. I think that's the biggest thing, because often we don't have time. So we're busy running around doing a million other things and not thinking about, hey, what's actually going on for me right now?
Absolutely. The other thing you can do for an overactive chakra is actually wear the opposite colour.
Yes, because you'll be absorbing that energy. So for red, that would be green, would be the opposite. So you just have a quick look at the colour wheel and you'll be able to quickly determine what's opposite on there. Today we've given you a heap of information on how to open your base chakra using colour, fragrance, crystals, and spending time in nature. Of course, meditation is so important, and as a special bonus for our podcast listeners, we've included a quick guided meditation to help you clear your base chakra so it shines bright. Take a moment now to find a nice, comfortable place to sit and relax with your feet firmly planted on the ground.
Take a deep breath, and as you inhale, bring the energy all the way down to the base chakra at the bottom of your spine. See the chakra open, turning in a clockwise direction. As you breathe in deeply now, imagine you are surrounded by a beautiful swirling red light. The light is swirling around, moving energetically, filling you with energy, the feelings of security, safety, passion, creativity. Take another deep breath and bring all of that energy in to your being, feeding it down the spine and in to the base chakra. See the light swirling in a clockwise direction, clearing out any negativity or blocks that may be there. See the light so brightly, moving through any dark patches, breaking them away and dissolving them until the chakra is perfectly clear. Now feeling the light energy moving down your legs. The beautiful bright red moving down into the ground below you and into the earth chakra 6 inches below your feet. The chakra glows with red, orange and yellow, like a tiny sun, generating life and connecting you to the very core and heart of Mother Earth. Feel that connection now as it fills all of your body, streaming up through the legs, back into the base chakra. Your whole body becomes alive, connected, feeling safe, secure, creative, passionate, and above all, loved. Take a deep breath, and you can return to now when you're ready.
Thanks for listening to the Divine Style Podcast. Please follow, share, and tune in weekly for more spiritual and self-love guidance. You can find out more and ask questions at gerlinda.com.au and alisonmaiden.com.